Hello, welcome to FM Scout. I'm Bood FM and thanks for joining me here today on the channel. Now, this is another episode in our Rumours series. Basically, we're taking stories we've read in the papers or we've seen online, rumoured transfers in the world of football, and we're making them happen. Some of them might not happen, some of them are purely rumours, some of them, like this one today, I think will happen. And, as you can tell by the title and the thumbnail, it's going to be about Alexandre Lacazette. But before we get into today's episode, I just want to point you in the direction of my channel. I'm Bood FM. I've got a Let's Play series at the minute with Bayern Munich, set in the year 2036. We're under a transfer ban. We have been for 20 years. Bayern Munich haven't won a trophy for 15 years. They've been relegated. They've come back up, and that's where I've come in. I can't buy anyone, can't loan anyone. I've just got to work with the youth. It's a massive challenge, but it's loads of fun. Hopefully, you're going over there, you'll check it out. You might like it. And do you know what? You might even subscribe to me. Come and join the family. Anyway, let's get into today's episode. So here we are on his page, and he's at Olympique Lyon or Lyonnais, and we're going to put him at Arsenal at the start of the 27-18 season. Now, he's a good striker. He is a good striker. Now, he's good in France, but can he do it in the Premier League? Now, looking at his stats, he's decent. His finishing's amazing. 17 is good. And his all-round game's good. I just don't think he's outstanding. He hasn't got any like 20s or 19s or 18s, but you can't knock him. I think he's a very good player, and I think he can do it in the Premier League. So we're going to find that out today, because we're going to have a look at one season. Can he come into Arsenal and do the job? Here we are in his contract. Just a quick look at it. He's on 150 grand a week, which I think is fair for a guy of his ability, especially playing at Arsenal. You're never going to get 300 grand a week. Onto his history page, and if you take a look at that, you'll see he's had his entire career at Lyon. And, last few years he's really started to kick on. Had a couple of really good goal-scoring seasons in Ligue 1 in France. But now he's made his £50 million move to Arsenal. Now, these transfers, we had people in the comments saying, they're never going to sign for that much money. And you're like, well, do you know what? They're just rumours. We don't know the facts. If the paper says 50 million, we're just using that. It is just a bit of fun. So he has signed for 50 million, but can he live up to the price tag? Now, onto his achievement page, his achievements for his entire career, and I don't think he's won too much. What's he won? The Coupe de France and the Trophy de Champions. And yeah, he started to play for France over the last few years. Like I said, I think he's played 10 times, scored 1 goal. So he's still got loads to achieve. 26, he's about to hit his peak in the next couple of years. So hopefully, he might win some big trophies at Arsenal. And to be fair, Arsenal have done very well, and every save I've done, every experiment, Arsenal on FM17 always do well. Now onto the club page, and if you look over on the right hand side, you see Arsene Wenger is still the manager. The club's rich, they're in the Champions League, so he's going to be playing in all the competitions this year. And we've made a few changes basically. I wanted to really challenge him, and I could have brought him in here, and he might not have got a game. So there are a few rumours flying around. We've made one Arsenal player rumour recently, and we're potentially going to make this other Arsenal rumour in the future. So what we've done is I've put Alexis Sanchez at City. I know some people moaned about that, but it's just a rumour. So Sanchez has left Arsenal. There's a rumour that Giroud and Walcott might be going to West Ham or are leaving anyway. So we've sent them to West Ham, and that frees it up for Alexandre Lacazette to come in and be the number one striker. A quick look at the manager who's going to be guiding him this season. It's 67-year-old Arsene Wenger, and stat-wise, he's brilliant, isn't he? I know some Arsenal fans wanted him replacing. I think he's signed a new deal now in real life. He's a great manager, and he's done some wonders with great French players in the past, especially over the last 20 years. So hopefully he can work his wonders with Alexandre Lacazette this season. Now I'm going to look at the tactics, and you'll see obviously Giroud and Sanchez are on that. That's from the last game, and they're definitely not playing there anymore. And it's a tactic that a lot of people use. A lot of people who make content like me use it. I see it all the time. I come up against it on my series all the time. I get bored with it, I'll be honest with you. I like trying things differently, but he can play up top. Hopefully he will play up top, but if needs be, he can cover on the wide left or the wide right. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Now, before we move on, we'll have a quick look at the Premier League. It's not started yet, obviously. It's the start of the 2017-18 season. We've used an updated database. Chelsea have won the Premier League, obviously, last year. We've got Huddersfield, Newcastle and Brighton in it this time, so we can't make all the transfers, so it's not going to be an exact replica. You can't do that, it's impossible. But it's as close as we can get it right now to testing. So let's jump to the end of the first transfer window, about the halfway mark, and let's see how it's getting on. Here we are, it's the start of February, the winter transfer break is over, and it looks like he's doing a very good job. He's played in the Champions League 5 times, scored 4 goals, set up 2. In the Premier League he's played 24 games, scored 13, which is good for almost just over halfway in the season. So he's obviously started well. And looking at his development, he has played as a striker in every single game, which is brilliant because that's where he's the best. He's a complete forward. I know he can cover out wide, but he's played and he's banging the goals, and his average rating is pretty respectable as well. There is his report page. Now you can pause this if you want and have a look at it in more detail because there's quite a lot of information on here. I'm just going to have a quick look at his shots. He's had 94 shots, about half of them are on target, which ain't too bad really, I don't think. 60% just short. His passes are completed, and his tackling's decent, especially for a striker. So yeah, if you want to have a look at that in a bit more detail, feel free to pause it. Here we are with the Premier League, and Arsenal's 6 now. I'll be honest with you, a lot of people, and some Arsenal fans have admitted this as well to me, and people definitely within our community do think Arsenal's been overpowered this year. They've done really well a lot of the time. They're a good team, massive club, don't get me wrong, but they are overpowered. So I'm surprised there. I expected him to be top, or top 2 anyway. Now he is actually top joint goal scorer in the Premier League on 13 goals with Harry Kane, who's now at Manchester United, and Olivier Giroud, who went to West Ham, and fair play to him, all on 13 goals. Now looking at the all-round competitions, obviously still in the Champions League in the first round knockout against Villarreal, expect him to be then. Still in the FA Cup, Arsenal always do well in the FA Cup. They got Bristol City in the 4th round, you can't see that. You can't see them not being that. But they have been knocked out of the League Cup. I reckon he's probably beating that. Probably played the youngsters, got knocked out by Liverpool in the 4th round. So he's still got a chance of winning a couple of trophies here really, even if they don't do well in the Premier League. Now he might be joint goal scorer in the Premier League, but he hasn't picked up any player of the months. So, you expect him to. Come on lad, at least win one. So I'll be interested to see if he can win one in the next few months because he's scoring goals. He's obviously playing really well. So we're on the club page. Arsene Wenger is still the manager, and disappointing in the Premier League. But can he and Lacazette do a late push, improve their position in the EPL? But they're still in the Champions League and they're still in the FA Cup, so there's still silverware. Well, there's still a chance of winning some silverware. Let's jump to the end of the season and see if they can actually do it. Here we are on his main page, and before I mention that little injury sign down there, we'll have a look at how he's done. Now he played 11 times in the Champions League, scored 7 goals, set up 3. That's a brilliant showing I think in Europe. Scored 18 goals in 32 games in the Premier League, so fantastic. Now he's been injured. He was out for at the minute 2 to 3 weeks. He's been out even longer, which is a shame really because he's missed some important matches. But he didn't get injured till the very end of the season. He's only going to miss the last couple of games. It's going to be disappointing for him, I think. Onto his report page again, and again, you can pause this if you want. It looks like his shots improved. I think his targeting's gone up a little bit. His passing's gone up a little bit. Do you know what? I think that's good showing. 18 goals. If that was him, if I had him in my team, first year in the Premier League and he scored me 18 goals, I'd be happy with that. I'd be really happy with that Champions League record. 7 goals in 11 games is really, really good. So I was wondering how they finished in the Premier League, and Arsenal did what Arsenal normally do. Normally, I think it's just this season in real life, the first time they haven't done it, and they've crept into 4th place, pushed City out of the way. Liverpool have won the league. Both experiments I've done in this Rumours series, Liverpool have won the league, and Manchester United, my team, have come 2nd. I'm definitely not bitter, I promise. But he ended up the season 3rd on the goal scoring charts. Olivier Giroud won it. So Arsenal, maybe don't buy the fancy French striker, keep the other French striker. Now looking at player of the month, he didn't win one unfortunately. An Arsenal player did, Mesut Ozil, top player, German lad. But yeah, I'd like to see him win at least one. And again, he didn't win Footballer of the Year. Ozil won it. Well, he's won it 2 years running now. So I didn't expect him to win that. Onto the players player, and he didn't win that either. Same Arsenal players won that again. So he didn't win anything really, which I'm a bit gutted with. But did he win a trophy? There's still 2 cup competitions we don't know about. We will get to them in a minute. Onto the Premier League team of the year, and he didn't make this either. They'd gone for Giroud and Aguero up top. But he did get into Arsenal's overall best 11, and he's made the bench in his first year, which is great. Obviously, all round he's played 45 games, scored 25 goals, and got an average rating of 7.25. I think that's fantastic. I really think he's done a lot better than I thought. He's a really good striker. Onto the competitions page, and you'll know Arsenal finished 4th. They were knocked out of the League Cup. They got knocked out by 4th round by Bristol City. I thought that was a guaranteed win for them. I'm surprised by that. The cup was eventually won by Leicester City, but have you seen that? They've won the Champions League. I think this is where the lad's going to be disappointed. And he will be disappointed because Arsenal went on and they won it. And they drew 2-2 with Real Madrid, and they went on to win it by penalties. But he got injured just after the semi-final in one of the last league games, so he's not been able to play, which is massively disappointing. Now I think in real life he would actually get a medal, but I don't think he's got one. But he was a major part of them getting to that final. His goals took him to that final. I'm just a little bit disappointed for him. And just to confirm that he didn't win a winner's medal, which I think he would get one. If you play all the way, you get one. John Terry got one. Do you remember when he won his full kit in the final and he didn't even play? So he definitely would have got one. So that annoys me a little bit. But he did well. He won the Golden Boot in the Champions League, eh? That is something to be very proud of. He was in the Champions Cup Dream Team as well. So, do you know what? I think he's a very good striker. So, there we go. One-shot season with Alexandre Lacazette. Now, I think he's a very good player, 26-year-old Frenchman. And I think the deal's probably going to go through. It'd be interesting to see if he can replicate that kind of season. Hopefully he won't get injured. But, come to Arsenal and score lots of goals because he can. He obviously can. And that was with Walcott, Giroud and Sanchez leaving. So, he'd be a very good replacement. Or even if you keep all them players anyway, and the rumours are not true, Arsenal could have a really good chance of definitely getting back in Champions League football next year. I fully expect that. So I think they'd be a good buy, and they should definitely try and sign him. So hopefully you've enjoyed this episode today. It is a bit of fun, like I said. And if you did enjoy it, you could fully support our channel. If you like our channel, it really does help us if you like it, an episode. If you dislike it, fair enough. Any interaction really helps us. It helps our channel grow, and it helps us be more motivated to bring you the very best content we can. Now, before I do leave, don't forget to head over to the FM Scout website if you never have before. Great website, loads of articles, downloadable content. It's just the one-stop shop for everything Football Manager. It's the only place to go. It is the only place to go. So hopefully you'll check it out. Links to my channel, to my Twitter, to fmscout.com. All the links are down below, so check out the description. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you have a nice day. Take care. I'll see you next time.